Selected parts from the book One Life is Not Enough by Sri Natwar Singh, Part 22. The Indian ambassador to the US, L.K. Jha, requested Mrs. Indira Gandhi to leave New York on 25th October after attending President Nixon's dinner in Washington on 24th October. She did not agree, so he requested her to write a letter to President Nixon explaining why she could not attend the dinner. The Prime Minister asked me to draft a letter. Knowing her dislike for Richard Nixon, I wrote something diplomatically correct but lacking in warmth. When Jha read it, he was very disappointed. He asked me to persuade the Prime Minister to make her letter more cordial. I told Jha that he knew her well. She had written the letter after much consideration and was not likely to make any changes. I thought it extraordinary that President Nixon did not realize that Indira Gandhi was unlikely to join a jamboree. Having completed 5 years in the Prime Minister's Secretariat, I was keen to get back to external affairs. She kindly agreed and I was posted to Poland. Even before my leaving on 25th March 1971, the armed forces of Pakistan commenced their brutal suppression of people of East Pakistan. I left Delhi on 2nd April for Warsaw to assume charge as ambassador of Poland. By the time I presented my credentials to the Polish president, the horrific events in East Pakistan were making news even in that faraway country. The Polish government adopted a cautious stance and issued no statement. The Ministry of External Affairs kept me informed of the unfolding tragedy. Romuald Spasowski, the Polish Deputy Foreign Minister in charge of the Indian subcontinent, had been ambassador to India. I got to know him well and had arranged for him to meet the Prime Minister more than once. Spasowski was an outstanding diplomat. From time to time, I used to meet him in the Polish Foreign Office and brief him on the events in East Pakistan. The world was gradually becoming aware of the atrocities being committed in that region, which were arousing great indignation everywhere. The burden on India was immense. 10 million refugees from East Pakistan poured into India. In the last week of October, the Pakistan ambassador to Poland, a Bengali gentleman, asked to see me. Unlike most West Pakistanis, he was a low key individual and a likable person. During our meeting, he broke down when narrating that his people were facing a ruthless onslaught by the Pakistani army, which was 80% Punjabi. It had become impossible for him to serve a government which was destroying East Pakistan and killing its people. I told him that we fully sympathized with his people and were discreetly doing what we could to help. The ambassador had recently attended a meeting of Pakistani ambassadors held in Geneva. The main topics of discussion were the events in East Pakistan and India's role therein. Ambassador Bashir handed me a large envelope. This is the record of the Geneva meeting. Please send it to your Prime Minister. She knows you well. Ask her to save my people. I was speechless. This was an extraordinary event. Here was the ambassador of Pakistan handing over a top secret document to the ambassador of India. One only reads about such occurrences in spy stories. I assured the ambassador that the report would reach the Prime Minister by the end of the week. I deliberately sent the package to the Prime Minister and not the Ministry of External Affairs, where it would only have been shunted from one desk to another. A few days later, there was a dramatic sequel. The ambassador met me late at night at my residence. I could see how distraught he was. Without wasting any time, he said, "Here is the cipher code which Pakistani ambassadors use." I was flabbergasted. For an ambassador, the cipher code is of the highest importance as it is the key for conveying top secret information to the ministry. Only two people in the embassy are privy to this code: the head of mission and the cipher assistant. I personally took the Pakistani cipher code to Delhi and handed it over to the RA chief, Mr. Rameshwar Nath Kaur, an accomplished intelligence agent. Few had heard of Kaur and fewer still knew his face. By the time I returned to Warsaw, the ambassador had resigned from the Foreign Service of Pakistan. He had informed the Polish Foreign Office of this. So far, he had not been declared persona non grata, but his diplomatic immunity had been withdrawn. He faced an intolerable situation. If his government asked him to vacate the official residence, he would have nowhere to go. Secondly, if his official car was withdrawn, he would be immobile. The saving grace, however, was that he was not short of money as he had withdrawn all his official and personal funds from the bank. Since he was no longer an ambassador, he could not see anyone in the Polish Foreign Office. I faced a dilemma. Should I intercede on his behalf or not? Beyond a point, I could not help my Bengali friend. I did unofficially talk to the Deputy Foreign Minister to request him to let the ambassador stay on at his official residence. This he ensured. Not a word appeared about the ambassador in the Polish media. The Pakistani government was facing a desperate situation and had no time to worry about an ambassador in Warsaw. On 16th December 1971, Indira Gandhi made the following speech in Parliament. I have an announcement to make. The West Pakistan forces have unconditionally surrendered in Bangladesh. The instrument of surrender was signed in Dhaka at 16:31 hours Indian Standard Time today by Lieutenant General A.A.K. Niazi on behalf of the Pakistan Eastern Command. Lieutenant General Jagjit Singh Arora, GOC in command of the Indian and Bangladesh forces in Eastern Theatre, accepted the surrender. Dhaka is now the free capital of a free country. The House and the entire nation rejoice in this historic event. Our armed forces are under strict orders to treat Pakistani prisoners of war in accordance with the Geneva Convention and to deal with all sections of the population of Bangladesh in a human manner. The commanders of the Mukti Bahini have issued similar orders to their forces. Although the government of Bangladesh have not yet been given an opportunity to sign the Geneva Convention, they also have declared that they will fully abide by it. It will be the responsibility of the government of Bangladesh, the Mukti Bahini, and the Indian Armed Forces to prevent any reprisals. Thank you for listening.